Hare Krishna. मम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Hare Krishna. So here Prithu Maharaj is giving instructions to his citizens, subjects. He is giving such wonderful instructions. Lord is ready to give anything to the living entities. Only thing if he knows that it is good for him. So when Ashwatthama he went to Dwaraka and he was nicely taken care, and he was one time sitting with Krishna on the shore of ocean, and he asked, "Can I get Sudarshan Chakra in exchange of Brahmastra?" Krishna says, "Yes, I can give you if it is really benefiting you. I can give my Saranga bow also, Comedy Club also, everything I can give. Only thing is if it is benefiting you." So that is actually Krishna's criteria for giving us. Say if he gives me wealth of, say, Adani or Ambani, very less likely that I'll be sitting here and giving class on Bhagavatam. I'll be busy in maintaining something else. And it may be true for many, many of the people. Why Krishna is not giving? He knows that it will only make us away from him. So he gives only that much which is needed in terms of pleasure and pain both. He knows that we need some amount of pain also to become serious in Krishna conscious, and we need some amount of pleasure also to continue, to develop faith. That much only he gives. So his exams are within the syllabus. So he knows what is really benefiting. So here also the instructions are properly given. And if we are hearing this today, that means this is actually what we need to hear for today, like that. So he is giving such instructions to his followers. He is telling, "I request all the pure-hearted demigods, forefathers, and saintly persons to support my proposal, for after death the results of an action is equally shared by its doer, its director, and its supporter." So even demigods, they will get benefited. And if they are supporting. And this is a very important verse. Prabhupada is giving a big purport. Asti yajnapatirnama keshanachid arhasam hata sattama I hamutacha lakshante jyotsnavatya kvachit bhavaha. My dear respectable ladies and gentlemen, according to the authoritative statements of the Shastra, there must be a supreme authority who is able to award respective benefits of our present activities. Otherwise, why should there be person who are unusually beautiful and powerful both in this life and in the life after death? Oh, this is a very important understanding. That means we should accept in some authority. Authority is there, somebody is controlling, and he has a purpose behind it. Like in this world, na, it is not in a chaotic way, it is happening in an organized way. And interestingly, not according to our way. That means there should be somebody according to whom things are happening in this world. 2 points to understand. First is things are organized in this way. There is no chaos. Something is going in some systematic way. Rains are coming, crops are growing. There are certain rules. Everything is happening here. And second thing to understand, not according to what I want. That means there is somebody according to whom things are working here. And another logic what Prithu Maharaj is giving is there are some people who are enjoying certain way. They are beautiful this life, next life, after that also. And some people are very miserable. So somebody is organizing it. And Prabhupada try to prove this in a huge purport. We'll try to understand. And the first thing Prabhupada is telling is the sole aim of Prithu Maharaj is to protect the citizen. So that is the first thing he wanted to do. aim of his kingdom was to raise the citizens to God consciousness. But means there is somebody above who we need to follow. Since there are great assembly in the arena of sacrifice, there are different type of men present, but he was especially interested in speaking to those who are not atheistic. So we cannot give these instructions to anybody and everyone. They need to have some amount of faith. Then we can help them. Others who are outright atheists, no matter what you tell, they cannot believe. Like when Hiranyakashipu was asked by he asked Prahlad, "Your Lord is present everywhere." He showed, and Lord appeared also from the pillar, but he couldn't believe it. He thought, "I'll kill him." So that is the atheistic mental. They want to destroy the Lord. So now Hiranyakashipu was directly, literally trying to kill, but the scientists they want to kill with the help of their word jugglery, their writing books, their teaching about atheism. They also want to kill the Lord. That's why it is told that they are also of this category. It is already explained in the previous verse that Prithu Maharaj advised the citizens to become Adoksha Jadhiya, which means God conscious or Krishna conscious. And in this verse, he specifically presents the authority of Shastra, even though his father was a number one atheist who did not abide to the injunctions mentioned in the Vedic Shastras, who practically stopped all the sacrificial performance and who so disgusted the Brahmanas that they not only dethroned him but cursed and killed him. So, atheistic men do not believe in the existence of God. So, the point is that they cannot believe in God. So, that means that tendency is very strong in them. They're very strong. Why? Because they want to enjoy this world. If you want to enjoy, if you have a master above it, then it becomes very difficult to enjoy. Uh, it's very difficult to enjoy if there is a boss. Like we have in the childhood, the parents are there at home, then we used to feel uncomfortable if we want to watch TV and play and other things. If parents say that okay, we are going for 1 2 day outside, then children are very happy. Yes. Now it's our freedom. So atheistic mentality same only. They don't want somebody above. So that's why they try to do all sort of. Atheists believe in the atheistic Sankhya philosophy of the combination of Prakriti and Purusha. Why this mentality? Even quantum scientists also they criticize the classical physics. They say these people they are not encouraging us, they are not funding us because they want to keep classical physics as the ultimate. Why? Because they want to control everything. But it is not possible like that. So anyway, they believe only in matter and hold the matter under certain condition of amalgamation gives rise to the living force. That's what they say, which they appear as Purusha, the enjoyer. Then by the combination of matter and the living force, uh, sorry, amalgamation and the living force, the many varieties of manifestation exist. So this is their theory. Now in Vishnu Puran it said that the entire Varnashram institution is meant to satisfy the Supreme Lord. That means we have to come follow the Shastra, Dharma. So when you follow Dharma, slowly, slowly our heart change. That's it. And then we will be able to get a state of mind where we can accept the authority of Lord. Purpose at the present moment, although the so-called Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas, Shudras have lost their original culture, they claim to be Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya by birth only. Yet they have rejected the proposition that such social and spiritual order is specially meant for worship of Lord Vishnu. This is another thing. So The Varnashrama is meant to worship Vishnu, but they are only interested in caste system, but not in worshipping Vishnu. That's actually what happened now. And the dangerous Maya of this theory set forth by Shankaracharya, that is also another danger. It does not tally with the injunctions of Vedas. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore described Mayavadis as the greatest offender. Mayavadi, Krishna Aparadi. Because they are taking away people from Lord. And then when Buddhist preaches this theory of non-violence, he was obliged to deny the authority of Vedas. So that is also another problem. The Buddhist philosophy are Nastikas or atheists because they are denial of authority of Vedas. He considered the Shankaras who wanted to establish Vedic authority by trickery, who actually followed Maya, the philosophy of Buddhist school only, to be more dangerous than Buddhist. Vidyam cha yastad vedo bhayam saha. He says ignorance is dangerous, but knowledge is more dangerous. That's what Ishopanishad says. So when it tells about knowledge more dangerous, it is talking about this type of philosophy which is it is more dangerous than Buddhists because their theory, they are teaching Vedas, but they are teaching in wrong way. And Shankara's philosophy theory that we have to imagine the shape of God is more dangerous than denial of existence of God. Notwithstanding all this philosophical theorization of atheists or Mayavadi, the followers of Krishna consciousness rigidly live according to the injunctions given in Bhagavad Gita. Yatah pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swa karmanam tat abhyarcha siddhim vindati manav. So by worshipping the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading, man can in the performance of his own duty attain perfection. See, this is the formula that is given. Our attainment of perfection is in performing the duty. And what is the highest duty? Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radokshaje. So highest duty is bhakti. Right? But only by duty we can attain Krishna. We can attain who is the source of all being, that is attain perfection only by duty. And highest duty is bhakti. Very simple. So what Prabhupada taught us is to do the highest bhakti. So he is teaching us to the highest bhakti, and that is what is Krishna consciousness. So this indicates that Supreme Lord is the original source of everything. Vedanta Sutra says Janmadhyasyatah. So the Lord himself has confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu, the Supreme Personality of God, the original source of all emanations, is Paramatma. He is spread all over existence. We discussed this also. Not only present in terms of energy, he is present in terms of consciousness also. He is conscious about what is there. That's why Kshetra Kshetragnyor Jnanam Etat Jnanam Matamama. Lord is not telling it's my energy. That he already told in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. No Bhumirapo Nalovayar Khamano Buddhirevacha Ahankariteme Bhinna Prakriti. They are all my energies. But when he's talking in the 13th chapter, he's not talking that they are my energies. He's telling I am conscious about it. That means if we are destroying something, we are damaging here, we are hurting the Lord actually. If we are hurting anybody, nature or living entities, we are hurting the Lord because the Lord is conscious about that part. Say somebody is hitting my hand, I am conscious about my hand. I feel hurt. My hand is hit because I am conscious of that part. Same thing happens to the Lord also. Lord is conscious about everything. So you damage something and then we get punished. So he spread all over existence. So absolute truth is there. So the Supreme Personality of God, the living being, is meant to satisfy the Supreme Lord. So karmana tvam abhyarcha. So this is the formula. Maharaj Prithu wanted to introduce this formula amongst his users. We have to please the Supreme Lord. The most important point in human civilization is that while one engages in different occupational duties, he must try to satisfy the Supreme Lord by the execution of such duties. That is the highest perfection of life. Swanishtitasa dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshnam. You see, this is the highest duty. Savai pumsam paro dharma. That is the highest duty. By discharging one prescribed duty, one can become very successful in life if he simply satisfies the Supreme Lord. So he gives the example of Arjuna. He is a Kshatriya, duty to fight, but he is doing for the Lord. So everyone follows this principle. The atheists who do not are condemned in Bhagavad Gita. Tam aham dishitah kruram samsareshu naradhama. So they are actually punished by the Lord. In this verse, it is clearly said that persons who are envious of Supreme Lord are the lowest of mankind and very mischievous. Under the regulative principles of Supreme Lord, such mischievous persons are thrown into the darkest region of material existence and born of asuras, atheist. Birth after birth, such asuras go still further down, finally to animal forms like those of tigers or similar ferocious beasts. Thus, for millions of years, they have to remain in darkness without knowledge of Krishna. So here, the Supreme Lord is known as Purushottama, best of all living entities. He is person like all other living entities, but he is Uttama Purusha. Uttama Purushastu Anya. He is the leader of all living beings. So it is stated in Vedas also, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. Eko Bahunam Yovedasa. He is the chief of all living entities. That's what actually Shastra says. He has the right to bring them to the proper standard so that all living entities may become happy. See, Father wants all children to become happy under his direction. Similarly, God, Krishna, has the right to see that all living entities are happy. You see, it is his responsibility to make us happy. Our duty is to follow his instructions. There is no possibility of becoming happy within this material world. The Father and sons are eternal. But if the living entity does not come to the platform as eternal life of blissful knowledge, there is no question of happiness. Although Purushottama, the best of all living entities, has no benefit to derive from the common living entities, he does have the right to discriminate between their right and wrong ways. The right way is the path of activities meant to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as we have already discussed. Swanishtitas dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. It is for the pleasure of Lord. But one who displaces him, involved in undesirable situations, that is, he will suffer only. Another thing he says that it is therefore concluded that there are two kinds of duties, mundane duty and duty for the sake of yajna. Yajnartha karmano anyatra lokoyam karmandana. If you are not doing in that way, then we are bondage. Karma bandhana. So the bondage comes, is administered under the regulations of the stringent laws of material nature. So material existence is a struggle to conquer the impediments put forth by material nature. The asuras are always fighting to overcome these impediments. And by the illusory power of material nature, the foolish living entities work very hard within the material world and takes this to be happiness. This is called Maya. So in order to regulate the activities of living entities, God has given us code. Just as king gives laws, so similarly, Lord is also given some knowledge, and that is given in the Vedas, which are not contaminated by four defects. Vedas are apaurushaya. So very, very systematically, Prabhupada is trying to establish this. First, he told what is atheistic mentality, Shankaracharya, Buddhism. Then he told what is the duties for pleasure of Lord, and how we will know our, if you don't do duty, then you are into karma bandhana. And how will we know our duty? Prabhupada here is telling, by knowing through Vedas. So, if we do not take directions from the Vedas, but act whimsically according to our own choice, we are sure to be punished with the laws of the Lord, who offer different types of bodies. So, Yeshan Tvantagatam Papam Jananam Punyakarmana Te Dandamoha Nirmukta Bhajante Mam Dridam. So, and the different varieties of life of material existence do not come about by chance and necessity. They are different arrangements made by the Supreme Lord in terms of pious and impious activity. So, why now he come to the point which is explained in the translation, that why people get different types of bodies, because there is some boss above him who is deciding, and what basis he is deciding? Based on the state of our action. That's why he is deciding. That's why By performing pious activities, one take birth in good family, in a good nation, one can get a beautiful body or can become very well educated or very rich. We see therefore that in different places, in different planets, there are different standards of life, bodily features, and educational statuses, all awarded by Supreme Lord only. So this is very important. If somebody is a multimillionaire, it is by Krishna's mercy. If somebody is poor, he is also Krishna's mercy only. Both are Krishna only arranging. Varieties of life therefore depend not by chance, but by pre-arrangement. There is a plan which is already outlined in the Vedic knowledge. One has to take advantage of this knowledge and mold his life in such a way that at the end, especially in the human form of life, he may go back home, back to God. And Prabhupada is telling, a theory of chance can best be explained in Vedic literature by the word Ajnata Sukruti, which refers to the pious activities performed within the actor's knowledge, without the actor's knowledge. That means, but there is also plan. For example, Krishna comes like an ordinary human being. He comes as a devotee like Lord Chaitanya and sends his representative to the spiritual master, pure devotees. He also planned activity of the Supreme Lord. They come to canvas and educate, and thus a person in the illusory energy of Supreme Lord gets a chance to mix with them, talk with them, and take lessons from them. And somehow or other, if the condition so surrenders to such personalities and by intimate association with them, chances to become Krishna conscious is saved from material life. The greatest help anybody can do, that is to give transcendental knowledge. This is the greatest help. We cannot repay people who are giving transcendental knowledge. Greatest help anybody is doing is giving transcendental knowledge. We cannot repay. So that's why we should be very grateful to spiritual master. So no matter whatever state he is, whatever he is, whatever situation, like Madhavendra Puri is bedridden, Ishwara Puri is serving him. Why he has to serve him bedridden? No, he says, okay, I will do my things. No. He is so grateful to Madhavendra Puri because he has given him transcendental knowledge, because of which we are able to come out of material existence. The spiritual master, we should be so grateful all the time because he is helping us to come out of this material existence. There is nobody who can do this help for us. No matter how many lifetimes, we cannot repay only because we will stuck up in this material world. What we will do without that knowledge? We are just in this material world. People are grateful. Oh, he gave me so much money. He gave me job. He gave me this, that. But who will give us transcendental knowledge? No, Chakshudan Dilojay Janme Janme Prabhu se. So that is the reason we should be so grateful to people who are practicing and who are distributing this transcendental knowledge. Because by their inspiration, we are able to do ourselves. That is the only hope for us. That's why no matter whatever state they are, they have given us, we are grateful. So, Sarvadharman Paritidya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. So, Prithvi Maharaj further says that Manoruttanapādasya Dhruvasyapi Mahapate Priyavratasya Rajarsher Angasyasmita Pituhu Idrasanam Atanyesham Ajascha Bhavasya Cha Prahaladasya Baleschapi Kartyam Asti Gadabrata. This is confirmed not only by the evidence of Vedas, but also by the personal behavior of great personalities like Manu, Uttanapada, Dhruva, Priyavrata, and my grandfather Anga, as well as by many other great personalities and ordinary living entities exemplified by Maharaj Prahalad and Bali, all of whom are theistic, believing the existence of Supreme Personality of Godhead who carried a club. So there are two, like that's what. The instructions are given, but the persons are very important for us. That's why the example immediately is told about the personalities. Because their example, their practice only inspires us to do it. That's the reason Prabhupada could change so many people in the West. Because before Prabhupada also many Bhagavad Gitas were given in the West. Many people read Bhagavad Gita. But why they could not change is only reason is they could not see somebody who is practicing Bhagavad Gita. So when they saw a person, Prabhupada, when he was speaking Bhagavad Gita, they were seeing that he is living Bhagavad Gita also. So that helped him to both live and practice. So it helped all the hippies also, or whatever Westerners Prabhupada touched. They also saw, yeah, this is Bhagavad Gita and this is a person who is following Bhagavad Gita. It became easy. So here also, uh, Prithu Maharaj is telling, see, not only me, all these personalities. So they all followed it. So you see their example and you also follow it is easy. Narottam Das Thakur states that one has to ascertain the right path for his activities by following in the footsteps of great saintly persons and books of knowledge under the guidance of spiritual master. Sadhu Shastra Guru Vakya. A saintly person is one who follows the Vedic injunctions which are order of the Supreme Lord. The word Guru refers to one who gives proper directions under the authority of Vedic injunctions and according to the examples of the lives of great personalities. So, this is what his Guru is doing. He is giving the instructions, he is setting examples, and he is also showing examples of great personalities. The best way to mold one's life is to follow in the footsteps of authorized personalities like those mentioned herein by Prithu Maharaj, beginning with Swayambhu Manu. The fast path in life is to follow such great personalities, especially those mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Mahajano yena gatasya panta. Dauhitradini rite mrutyor sochayan dharma vimohitan varga swargapavarganam prayenaikatma hetuna. Although abominable persons like my father Vena, the grandson of death personified, are bewildered on the path of religion, all the great personalities like those who mentioned agree that in this world the only bestower of benediction of religion, economic development, sense gratification, liberation, or elevation to heavenly planets is the supreme personality of God. So anything that is happening, economic development, religion, sense gratification, dharma, artha, kam, moksha, it's all by the Supreme Lord only. So King Vena, the father of Prithu Maharaj, was condemned by Brahmanas and saintly person because of his denying the existence of Supreme Lord and rejecting the method to satisfy him. He was not allowing them to do yajna only. They tried to persuade him, but he didn't listen. Then they said, okay, enough. Prithu Maharaj considered King Vena's character abominable because Vena was foolish regarding the execution of religious principles. Atheists are of the opinion that there is no need to accept the authority of Supreme Lord to be successful in religion, economic development. So this is people, they think that it does not work. No, sometime or other they have to do some pious activity, then only they are able to succeed. Now some people, very rich people, they say we are atheistic. Yes, you may be atheist now, but whatever you are enjoying, it is because you have done some good activity in the previous time. That's why you are getting it. Now you become atheist. After some time, you lose everything. That's for sure. Like France and Britain, they are very atheistic nations. Now, very soon they lose their prosperity. That is just a matter of time. Europa's rating. Furthermore, they say that actually there is no need to accept God for this purpose. For if one follows the principles of morality and honesty, this is sufficient. Similarly, if one makes nice plans and work very hard for economic development, automatically the results of economic development will come. Similarly, sense gratification also depends on mercy, does not depend on mercy of Lord. So this is what they say. They say for if one earns enough money by any process, one will have sufficient opportunity for sense gratification. Insofar as liberation is concerned, they say that there is no need to talk of liberation because after that everything is finished. This is the atheistic philosophy. Thus, Mrityu's daughter, Sunita, got all the qualities of her father, and Veena inherited the qualities of others. A person who is always subjected to the rules and regulations of repeated birth and death cannot accommodate anything beyond material ideas. Thinking Veena was such a man, he did not believe in the existence of God. Modern civilization agrees with the principles of King Veena. That actually, if you scrutinizingly study all the conditions of religion, economic development, sense gratification, liberation, you must accept the principles of the authority of Supreme Lord according to the Vedic literature. Religion consists only of the codes of law given by God. But does not accept the authority of Supreme Lord in matter of religion and morality, one must explain why two persons of the same moral standards achieve different results. It is generally found that even if two men have the same moral standards of ethics, honesty, and morality, their positions are still not the same. Similarly, in economic development, so this is the logic Prabhupada is giving. Okay, if you say you be good and you will get everything good. Now, two people are following the same moral standards, same ethics, same honesty, but their positions are different only. Why like that? Similarly, in economic development, it seems that two men work very hard day and night, still the results are not the same. One person enjoys greater opulence without even working, whereas other person, although working very hard, does not even get two sufficient meals a day. So we can see also, somebody is born only rich, somebody is struggling very hard. I saw many of my college friends. Somebody worked very hard, but he is not even passed the exam also. So similarly, in the matter of sense gratification, sometimes one who has sufficient food is still not happy in his family affairs, or sometimes is not even married also. Whereas other person, even though not economically well off, has the greatest opportunity for sense gratification. Even an animal like dog or a hog may have greater opportunity for sense gratification than human beings. Sometimes dogs are in a very rich family. They treat it with so much luxury. The dog is enjoying all the facilities. And here some people are sleeping on the roadside. Aside from liberation, even if we consider only the preliminary necessities of life, dharma, artha, kama, we will see that they are not the same for everyone. Therefore, it must be accepted that there is someone who determines the different standards. In conclusion, not only for liberation must one depend on the Lord, but even for ordinary necessities in material world. Maharaj therefore indicates that in spite of having rich parents, children are sometimes not happy. Similarly, in spite of valuable medicine administered by a competent physician, sometimes a patient dies. Or in spite of having a big safe boat, sometimes a man drowns. We may thus struggle to counteract impediments offered by material nature, but our attempts cannot be successful unless we are favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So such a nice purport Prabhupada is giving, very nice logical. यत्पादसेवाभिरुचिस्तपस्विनाम् अशेषजन्मोपचितं मलं धिया सद्यः क्षिणोत् अन्वहम् एततीर्षति यथा पदाङ्गुष्टं विनिसृष्टा सरीत्. By the inclination to serve the lotus feet of Supreme Lord, suffering humanity can immediately cleanse the dirt which has accumulated in their minds during innumerable births. Just the inclination only. If you have little desire to serve also, we can cleanse all the dirt. Like the Ganges water which emanates from the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord, such a process immediately cleans the mind and the spiritual or Krishna consciousness gradually increases. In India, one can actually see that a person who takes bath in Ganges water daily is almost free from all kinds of diseases. A very respectful Brahmin in Calcutta never took a doctor's medicine, even though he sometimes felt sick. He would not accept medicine from the physicians, would simply drink Ganges water. and he was always cured within a very short time. So the glories of Ganges water are known to Indians and to ourselves also. Mhm. So many people don't want to go out of India because there is no Ganges. They don't want to go very far from Ganges. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and you want to go to Vrindavan, he said, I want to take darshan of Mother Ganges. So the river Ganges flows by Calcutta. Sometimes within the water, there are many stool and other dirty things which are washed away from neighboring mills and factories. But still, thousands of men take bath in Ganges water and they are very healthy as well as spiritually inclined. That is the effect of Ganges water. The Ganges is glorified because if it emanates from the toes of lotus feet of the Lord. Similarly, if one takes to the service of the lotus feet of Lord or takes to Krishna consciousness, he is immediately cleansed of the many dirty things which have accumulated in his innumerable births. We have seen that in spite of the very black record of their past life, persons who take to Krishna consciousness become perfectly cleansed of all dirty things and make spiritual progress very swiftly. So, Prabhupada is writing huge purpose. So many things to share in this regard. Therefore, Pitimara advised that without the benediction of Supreme Lord, one cannot make advancement either in so-called morality, economic development, or sense gratification. One should therefore take to the service of Lord or Krishna consciousness, thus very soon become a perfect man, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Chipram bhavati dharmatma sasya shanti nigacchati. So, Prithu Maharaj recommended that everyone take shelter of Supreme Lord and thus be immediately purified. And Krishna also says that no, he will be free from all sinful reactions. Just the inclination to serve. So, Prabhupada is writing, one who takes all the resultant actions of sinful life of a disciple immediately after the disciple's initiation. Krishna takes. Thus, if the disciple follows the principle strictly, he remains purified and not contaminated by material infection. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore stated that spiritual master who plays the part of Krishna representative has to consume all the sinful reactions of his disciple. So this is actually important. That spiritual master who plays the part of Krishna's representative has to consume all the sinful reactions of his. Sometimes the spiritual master takes the risk of being overwhelmed by sinful reactions of the disciple and undergoes a sort of tribulations due to their acceptance. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore advised that one not accept many disciples. So, yeah, next purport is also very big. We will stop here. Any questions, comments? Okay, thank you all very much.